After successfully resurrecting a dead man with an experimental serum, the scientist responsible finds 5 new volunteers for her experiment. Dr. Dela Cruz grabs her clipboard and checks off everyone strapped to their exam tables. William, Adam, Kelsey, Emma, and Felix are all wearing special cold suits designed to preserve their bodily functions after their hearts stop for 24 hours. The doctor personally checks all their vitals, thanking the group for their bravery. She calls them Necronauts, the first explorers of the afterlife. The group inhales the lethal chemical gas at the same time, but as Kelsey, Emma, and Felix slowly lose consciousness, William and Adam start shaking and screaming, squirming around in agony until their hearts explode. Their revival is impossible. Dela Cruz takes note of the allergic cardiac reaction and confirms the other 3 can still be brought back from the space between life and death. Felix wakes up on a moonlit beach, feeling the warm tide wash over him, where he finds his ex-girlfriend waiting. She's an angel, so this is heaven. He's sure of it. He whispers, "Thank God," while Emma and Kelsey scream for him to get up and run away, but he can't hear them. They don't understand why he's letting a squid demon wrap its tentacles around him. Mesmerized by her beauty, Felix leans in to kiss his lost love when the monster rips his throat out with her beak. The girls run off into the jungle as he's dragged into the black, boiling surf of the river Styx, now an ocean, where starving ghosts of the damned wait for fresh souls. He tries fighting off the creature, but gets colder and weaker as it tears off what life he has left. And like piranhas, the others in the water join the feast. Devouring him, they remember what it's like to be human, to feel, to taste, to touch, while his remains sink to the bottom. The girls keep running as the jungle gets colder, eventually reaching an endless desert of sand dunes. The icy wind howls, scratching their faces as they hold each other for warmth. Hiking uphill for a better look at the landscape, they see a valley below with a giant swirling black hole. Kelsey insists they get closer, explaining that the next time they're going to be here is when they're really dead. People are going to make movies about us, she insists. We're going to be so fucking famous. But squeezing her hand tight, Emma says she's crazy. They should just stay here until the doctor wakes them up. But she came down here to explore death, she replied, hiking down. The two eventually reach the edge of the vortex, and she wants to look inside when Emma pulls her back. Kelsey insists she'll be fine, just don't let go. Emma squeezes her hand tight as Kelsey leans over the edge, where she sees a beautiful meadow with her grandparents telling her to come home. There's room for her in paradise. But reaching out, her other arm is going numb from Emma's cold grip, now revealed to be a gray, lifeless claw draining her warmth. The meadow catches fire as her family turns to corpses, and the demon in disguise lets Kelsey fall down the wormhole into hell. And back in the land of the living, the real Emma wakes up from the experiment. She calmly sits up, removing her helmet. Dela Cruz rushes over and checks her vitals, which look stable. And shining a light in her eyes, she asks Emma to confirm her name, her age, and who the President of the United States is. And she answers correctly and coherently, telling everyone that she died peacefully and was bathed in this bright white light, and these angels welcomed her into paradise. "I went to heaven," she says. "It was so beautiful." While the other doctors confirm Felix is physically alive, but when they shine the light in his eyes, no one is looking back at them. What's left of his consciousness is in pieces in the back of his empty mind, screaming to be put back together. She continues talking about how perfect her experience was. There wasn't any pain or anxiety, she says. When Kelsey slams her helmet into Emma's head again and again, she cracks her skull on the floor until it opens up, spilling out brain. She shouts at all the doctors to get back, calling them demons. She knows none of this is real. She knows she's still in hell. Waving the bloody helmet around wildly, Dela Cruz sedates her from behind with a needle in the neck. Felix and her are strapped down to their exam tables and wheeled out for further study. And in the meanwhile, she asks for her next group of volunteers.